CNN accidentally commits treason? What the
CNN recently ran a segment of them allegedly rescuing a prisoner left in solitary confinement for over 90 days.
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Damn.
It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there?
Kick it.
Is someone there?
No, it's not.
Yep.
Never mind. What's he curled up like that for? What the hell are you doing? Lay on the fucking... Lay on your blanket. What are you laying on the pavement for?
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Does anyone have any water?
Okay.
After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
Now, this would be seen as a triumphant moment in journalism
if
it wasn't for the fact that they just freed a notorious torturer.
There's a good chance.
Shit. Well,
I may have committed some light treason.
As the New York Post reports, the seemingly innocent prisoner has a long history of alleged war crimes. Part of the forces that were known
by the way, like those Syrian prisons, I talked to somebody who has family there. Man. That's some dark shit. Like, if you thought we had it bad over here, like with the way our prisons, nothing. Like, they have women there having kids in the prison, and the kids are in the prison, born into jail, like fucking Bane from Batman. And those are the ones that are lucky. Other ones, they just kill the kid. It's brutal.
torture those who refuse to pay him off, also ending civilians in their civil war in 2014, as they also make note of how he didn't quite look like someone held in solitary confinement for 3 months.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, usually if you're in that confinement, maybe, I don't know, like...
just the seasoning on top of the treason they felt the need to self-snitch on, as even before the whole "you're rescuing a torturer" reporting came out, absolutely nobody was buying the story of, we turned the camera off and shot the lock off a cell door, then zoomed in on a random blanket.
That's the thing, is like, I feel like shooting a lock off of a door like that is super dangerous, and I don't think that anybody would do that. Like, you'd probably use an axe or some sort of bolt cutters. Yeah, mega dangerous. Yeah, exactly. And like, if you're using, because if he's using a military weapon, like, I'm not, a key, exactly. Bullets are very persuasive. Yeah, the lock will get scared and it'll open before the bullet gets there. Ricochets can kill? Yeah, they can.
Only to suddenly discover a civilian was cowering underneath with perfectly clean clothes and somewhat recently groomed, stating he was in a windowless room for 3 months, but goes outside and immediately looks into the sun. This all sounds ridiculous until you realize it's CNN, which is pretty on brand for them. As I covered the
So I was thinking about the looking at the sun part too, because I was thinking, would his eyes not be able to adjust because he'd have been in solitary confinement? That's the first thing I thought of. But I actually don't think that's a point, because they could have had light inside of the prison. Yeah, like, I mean, he could have had light inside of the prison. It's just that he hadn't seen the actual sun itself. It's a windowless cell? Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's not a light in the room.
Last time, that specific CNN reporter got caught up in nonsense, where she was reporting from a war zone, ducked down on the ground from a massive barrage of rockets.
Hi, John. So forgive me, I have a slightly unelegant position, but we have just had a massive barrage of rockets coming in here. Not too far from us, so we have had to take shelter here.
Only to seconds later show people casually walking around in the background. to which she was being confronted over her reporting.
Where's your humanity? Where? Where is your humanity? You liar! You liar!
And wasn't the only CNN.
Somebody needs to hold these people accountable because they're misleading an entire nation of people in misunderstanding what is happening in the world. And that misunderstanding translates into voting preferences that ends up killing millions of people. I think there needs to be a degree of accountability for this. It's really bad. Propaganda is insane.
And journalists to be ran off the street.
You are not welcome here. Would you support us? CNN. CNN.
Fucking based.
CNN treats world events like the tabloids cover celebrity gossip. What they report doesn't necessarily have to be rooted in truth, as long as they make it look some.
And you got to keep in mind that guy's educated, because anybody that's over there, like, and knows English too, like that's not their native language over there, as far as I know. It's like these people are educated.
Somewhat believable to the lowest information viewer, as they treat their viewers like goldfish.
The people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
Fear-mongering or fabricated narratives they made.
Why is Donald Trump telling women he will do things whether they like it or not?
Oh, this sounds like it's gonna be another lawsuit soon. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Your body, my choice forever. Bro. It's crazy how popular that got. It was. Oh my God. Remember this? Yeah.
John, that is grossly inaccurate what you just played. Play the full clip. Play it in its context.
And that wasn't the only occurrence.
Uh-oh, well, they can't do that.
Especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens. This kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
I'm talking about sending...
Blue states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave. Getting Gavin Newsom under control, getting J.P. Pritzker under control.
What are you
making sure...
I've got to say that if you told a bunch of Trump voters that Trump is going to invade California with the military and put Gavin Newsom under military arrest, I feel like... I mean, I'm not going to say it, but I have a feeling what that response would be.
What are you talking about sitting into the state capitol to commandeer the state government?
I mean, I hope not, but he's definitely talked about that.
And they don't just make up hypotheticals, they're actually antithetical to getting the truth. As remember when Trump almost got taken out? CNN reported it as Secret Service rushing Trump off the stage, as Trump just fell to the ground amid loud bangs. And if it was...
That was the one that I actually gave CNN a bit of credit for, because they didn't want to announce it was a shooting until they were absolutely certain. I think that one would be okay, but the problem is that it's one maybe in a sea of lies. And so it's like, how are people going to believe that they were doing this out of the abundance of caution when so many other cases that were an abundance of lies? It's premature reporting. Exactly, right? It was pretty obvious, to be fair, what happened. No, I understand that. It's too gracious with them? No, I'm not. I'm not gracious at all. I just think this is the one exception that I wasn't crazy about getting mad about this one. That's all.
For free social media like X and videos like mine on YouTube, if you only watch CNN, you would just think Trump fell to the ground when he heard a loud bang, which just goes to show that CNN isn't so much reporting the news as they're reporting a corporate pre-approved narrative. This wasn't even the first time.
That's the bad one. Like, again, that can be contentious. We can debate about that. It's not a big deal. But I'll tell you, that's probably the only point. That's the only point of debate. This right here, I wish Joe Rogan would have sued them for this. I do. I wish you would have sued, because I think that these people need to have a degree of accountability when they're publishing things that are just not even true. Yeah, you can't defend this.
time it was this obvious, as back in 2021, they showed Joe Rogan getting COVID, looking sickly and green. When the video Rogan originally posted...
He looks totally... Look at this! Who does this? It's like, this is real life? This is Gears of War.
Had him looking much healthier and normal. And again, this was something I covered on this channel as it was happening. And I was just starting my YouTube channel at the time, which was not only a red pill moment for my listeners, but for myself too. As at the time, I remember seeing this clip from
I had this happen too. Like, I remember my red pill moment with the media was the way that the media reported Occupy Wall Street. Like, that was when I realized that it was total bullshit. Because, like, I was too young to really fully understand, like, the media misrepresentation of, like, Iraq. But by the time Occupy Wall Street happened, that was where I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
Very popular YouTuber I would watch, mocking people who do their own research.
I did my own research.
I have to say that I find it to be incredibly ironic that the woman who's making a video that's caricaturing people who did their own research didn't do her own research on the sponsor for BetterHelp because it actually caused people to kill themselves. I think there's an irony in that. It's funny.
To stop you right there. What do you mean by you did your own research? Did you look at credible sites like New York Times and NPR, or are we talking opinion editorial pieces from Medium? Okay, dude, you don't have to be
Shouldn't she be looking like with her head like this? Because there's no continuity in this. She really did it wrong.
I think where I would have been had I not been doing this channel and conducting my own spooky research. As a normie, I likely would have accepted the train of thought of only listening to trusted...
Well, this is what people do, right? I mean, this is the normie brain. The internet's not a credible source? Yeah, right. The credible source is the news company that's owned by a billionaire.
Sources like the New York Times or NPR, only for them to end up the same as CNN and be wrong about social distancing. Turns out the experts just made it up. Wrong about the shots, as there was no data saying it would stop the spread, and basically wrong about everything that was making their corporate sponsors billions of dollars during
I think that was the red pill moment for a lot of people was COVID. I think that COVID red pilled more people than probably anything did since... I think that the Iraq thing is what red-pilled people against, like, the, like the Republicans back then. But I was too young to really fully experience that. And I think this was the new version of that. And I think this one, in fact, is even worse because it had a convergence of governmental and private industry that are working together to create a consensus, like, control. Against military-industrial complex? Yeah. Mine was Bernie getting screwed over? Yeah, for sure. And like, at that point, I feel like... I mean, see, for me, that wasn't my red pill moment because I already had that happen with Ron Paul. Like, I have, like, Ron Paul posters from, like, 2008 and 2012 in my closet. And so, like, yeah, by the time Bernie, I'm like, first time, right? Like, yeah, this has already happened.
Lockdowns. So I don't think any lesser of anybody that originally bought into what the mainstream narrative was, as I see believing CNN or NPR like people that still use Internet Explorer or Internet Edge or whatever they're calling it now. As the only people that are still using it are the people who got it by default, but never took the time to see if there was something better out there. And just because I'm terminally online doesn't mean I fault those who have a life outside of the internet, as that does sound nice. But after years of constant lies, misrepresentations, and now...
I think COVID woke a lot of people up. And I think also because people had a lot more time during COVID, because many people were working from home or unemployed, it gave them the time to actually look some of this stuff up. And I think that COVID vastly increased the amount of people that were continuous consumers of online content. And I think the process of that caused pretty much everybody to lose trust in, like, every authoritarian organization. Everybody's sitting at home in 2021. Yeah, exactly. And I think that COVID was the big red pill. And that's what caused a lot of people to be, like, super distrustful of the media, That's why I think Trump is winning this time, or Trump won this time. I think COVID was like the big reason in the way that it was handled. And I think it's just a vibe, really, too. At the same time, COVID could have been much worse. People can't perceive theoreticals. The moment that you give people the idea of a theoretical, you automatically lose like 30%. This can't.
Freeing war criminals for content, people are finally turning off CNN, as CNN and their sister in misinformation, MSNBC, are tanking, with CNN's viewership sliding in half to under 400,000 after the election, while Fox News barely lost anybody, still sitting at over 2.6 million viewers.
Well, the reason why Fox News didn't lose a lot of people, it's because Fox News was right. People don't want to hear... People go to the news to know what's going to happen and know what's happening. So if the news is not giving people an accurate representation of what reality is, the news is not serving its purpose as a tool. So when Fox News is saying Trump is going to win and they're pro-Trump, well, then obviously people are going to keep watching them because they were right. But when you have other places saying that there's no way he can win, he's going to be in jail, he won't even be able to run, and like all this stuff, and these things are just continuously disproven over and over, then people lose faith and lose credibility in them. That's what happens. Fox News is as bad as CNN? That's not what I said. I didn't say that. Wrong. People go to news to feel better about their worldviews, not to get informed. I think that there is a combined group of people. I think that you're right and I'm right. I think that people do go after and look for news that reaffirms what they already believe. But there are people that look for news and they want to find out what's happening as well. You said Fox is more accurate than CNN. Did I say Fox is more accurate than CNN? I don't think I said that. I don't believe that. I don't really have a tier list, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like all of them, like Fox, MSNBC, NBC, CNN, I think they're all bad. Like, if you want to talk about, like, one being bad than the other, like, I mean, I guess, yeah, we could have that conversation if you want, but I don't really care a whole lot about it. I think all mainstream media is biased and bad. You said they were more accurate about the election outcome? Oh, they were. Yeah, they were. That's just the truth. Like, so Fox was more accurate about the election outcome, less accurate about the last election outcome. That's why they paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Yes. Let's live in reality, guys. Let's just live in reality. That's all I'm asking.
As Fox blasts CNN for getting beaten by the Food Network in primetime viewership.
Jesus.
The numbers don't lie, and apparently Americans would rather watch cooking competitions than whatever
well,
fake
I could
news
believe that.
CNN
Anybody
can
could
fabricate.
believe that.
As I often joke about getting more views than CNN, but after 3 years of being on YouTube, sure, I'm not perfect and I've gotten things wrong, but I've never...
I don't think that individuals are getting more views than CNN. I think that it's people that are not able to accurately look at the viewership. So... there's a number of demographics. It's a streamer thing, doesn't matter, right? But like, I don't think that's entirely true.
Maliciously misled my listeners, or at the very least, I've never staged rescuing a war criminal from captivity with the production quality and acting of a High School Musical. No. As at this point, watching CNN actually makes you dumber and more misinformed than if you watched nothing at all. And years ago, Denzel Washington...
He was so... oh my God.
Put it best
I remember this.
After fake news was written about him.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. We live in
she goes, Yeah, there it is.
a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy.
Yeah.
We don't care if it's true. Just say it. Sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at.
So if you appreciate
They
my
sure
concise, lighthearted coverage on the tragic status of today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on how even conservative news networks are getting pretty creepy.
Oh, yeah, I saw a little bit about this. I don't even know what happened there. They don't understand. You're on some schizo? Yeah, I mean, there it is. So Denzel's the GOAT? Yeah, 100%. No, this video is really good. So they broke this, they staged this guy. Oh my God. Look at him. Oh, wow.
Does anyone have any water? After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
Now, this would be seen as a triumphant moment in journalism if it wasn't for the fact that they just freed a notorious torturer.
There's a good chance.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Huh, that's kind of a mistake. Yeah, I feel like they kind of messed up with that one. Yeah, there you go. That's the torture. Yeah, I don't know what to say. There's the video right there. Give it a like. That was really fucking funny. I didn't even know this happened. Yeah, I feel like regime prisons won't have that much vents. Maybe you're right. I mean, I have no idea. Like, I know that these prisons were, like, absolutely horrible, right? I mean, they were just terrible, terrible, terrible places. But I'm not an expert on the subject, so I wouldn't really go any farther and talk about it too much. The woman also faked being in a war zone in Ukraine? No way. Pretty big mess up by CNN, though. Let's be honest. Definitely a big mess up. Oh my god. Yeah, there you go.